We're live. Let's see if YouTube complains about my video resolution last time and I didn't fix it. I don't think anybody had any problems though, so that'll be fine. Okay, we're live again. UEFN stuff, because yesterday was a good time and I think a lot of people learned some stuff, so I thought maybe we would do this again. I'm going to answer questions from my Discord first, and then anything that comes in here on YouTube. If anybody has any questions, ask away. I'm going to show. Just going to go into games now. Whoa, that's big. We don't need that big. Okay, so this is a storm or a zone, and the outside is the storm. Just want to cover this because this is coming up, and I'm gonna make it smaller and place it out here. I should launch this session. I should launch this. Oh, save. I don't remember everything that I did in the last session. So there's going to be some stuff that's set up already in this. So let's just switch over to my game screen. So I should probably have a keyboard shortcut for this. Let's see. Can you do that? I don't know. Not very good at OBS. At least not as good as I'd like to be. 3840 by 2160, which is not supported. 2560 by 1440. Okay, let's redo. We're back. Okay, so what I didn't want was YouTube yelling at me anymore. I don't know if anybody cares. I don't know if I care. I sort of care. So that makes my stream health healthy. Excellent in the status. Okay, so we're answering questions again today. I'm going to answer some from my Discord. And now we're just waiting for the session to start up. Should be pretty quick. That's a very small setup so far. Let's talk about what I've got actually. Might as well while we're waiting. So we've got UEFN open here on my left screen. And I put in a basic storm. The basic storm that lives here. It's going to generate at game start. And so I'm in the storm, as you can see. But, oh, I got the wrong keys. There we go. But here I'm in zone. Okay, so this is called in storm and in zone for just in case. Just want to cover everything, make sure everybody's cool with this. But see, sometimes when you're in storm, you want a safe place to be. Oh, I'm almost dead. Okay, so let's end this. To do that, all we're going to do, so say for example, let's move this zone over here more. And I'm just going to duplicate this basic storm. Alt, hold. I'm going to make a very tiny storm. 10. I'm going to place it over top of the spawners, like so. And so even though out here is in storm, I've got a basic storm here. We're going to start the game. I don't know if I need to push changes. Think I need to push changes? No, I did not. Wow. Right, so now I've got one storm there, one storm here. So basic storm at that. And the basic storm that's over there is what's keeping me in a safe zone while in storm. So I had somebody ask in my Discord, how do I do this? Doesn't work for me. Well, here's an example of how to do that. Very, very simple. We should make these props move. Or did it already move, do you think? Because it should have been set up. I don't know if I set up the editables. Remember yesterday we were talking about making a prop move from one to another? Okay, I'm going to get rid of it. me get rid of these. Damn it, did I have the right screen on? I did not. Let's run that back again. Let's run that back. I'm an idiot. Game screen. Start. Live streams are so much fun. Okay, so you see I'm in Storm. And then over here is the bigger one. So I'm in the zone here and another storm. So you can make a safe area inside of another storm. So yeah, there you go. Okay, and that. Go back to UEFN. Now, in UEFN from last, let's get rid of these storms. That explains that. Very common to do. You'll have a zone-based game and you want people to be able to spawn in a nice safe spot. Very common. Okay, player timer, start timer, spawner, from location to location. Where are these suckers? From to. Remember I was talking about moving stuff around? So this is the to. Let's find the from here. And our moving prop, which one did I use? Let's see, does it say moving prop? It says moving prop, move location. What? Where's this location? Oh, I don't even know which one it is. They're all named the same. Okay, let's get rid of a few. I didn't even name them properly. Spelling error. It's embarrassing. Let's bring this up a little bit. So when I spawn in, let's see. Make sure we've got this one selected. So when I spawn in, this move to, if all is well. Actually, I don't even know. Did I do things right? Let's check the game manager. Check the game manager. It's on the wrong screen again. That's not the screen I work on. Get big so you guys can see it. On begin, move prop. We spawn that move prop thing. It's going to teleport from to 2. Yeah. And in 5 seconds it's going to move. So let's give that a go. Build that. Just in case. Hello. Was it waiting to save? Yes. Check back. There. Built successfully. Push burst changes. Yeah. Go back to the game. Go to the game. There we go. Feel free to ask any questions, guys. I'm just covering stuff that was already sort of done. There it goes. Good to go. So that's how I move a prop. Let's do that again. Instead of using the prop mover device. So we're covering that in the last video. Start this up. We're ready. We're ready to look. Oh. What happened? It gets stuck on me. What's going on? End game. What happened there? Do I have a function here that makes it move to me? What did I do? I feel like I put something in here that has on player spawned. Yeah. Here, let's get rid of that. So there you go. On player spawned is running just fine. So it was going to that. I wonder why I didn't do it the first time, eh? Weird. Fortnite is weird. First changes. You guys didn't see that. Anyways, in the code, it was set up to go to me. Okay, let's check this out. There it goes. Facing the wrong way each time, aren't I? Let's get rid of that. One more time. There it goes. That's it. That's how I would move prop around. Just over here is a damage volume. Okay, so that sort of covers the two things, the initial two things that I was going to talk about. All right, so back to Discord. I had quite a few good questions coming through. Although if anybody has any questions, let me know. Okay, so I also actually in the comment section I had a question on how to not drop loot, not drop gold when you die. That is an island setting. I believe. Let's. Am I showing the right screen? I'm not. All right. Inside island settings. Inside the island settings, the island settings control everything going on, and then I think it's under resources. Or elimination or something. Yeah, actually, maybe try for gold. I believe it's in here. I don't know exactly why I think it's in here, but I think it is. Show gold resource count. Oh. Is it a class setting? Let's go take a look. I mean, sometimes you just gotta look around a bit. Class designer, bring that out. No, it's not in there so far. Elim. Okay, so eliminated players' resources, it can have drop, keep, or delete. So just put keep. Yeah. Resources. And that will allow, and then you'd set this class up to be class 0 or whatever your default class is. Class identifier, 1, and then your lobby settings or island settings for class. And the default class can be class 1. And then you will then have the ability to control if people drop their gold when they die or not. So it's in the class setting. Easy peasy. That was a good one, actually. A good one. All right. So what's next? What do we got? Kane's here, says hi. Hello. Okay, so next question. Oh, I get this question an awful lot. People ask why, when you respawn, you don't respawn on a spawner. Now, there's a few reasons for this. Inside of the spawner, we can have a, it's already set up. I've just put CLAS in the search area here, and it says player class. It can be set to any, no class, or a class slot. So depending on the type of game you've got going, most games is going to be any, so that any class, and then there's also a team one as well. Team, let's go, team, there we go. Any team. So these two settings here will set whether or not a team or a class can spawn on these things. And you generally are going to have them set to any, but not always. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your player is in the correct class or team to get to these things, or make sure you have spawners for every class and every team. The other thing that could happen, say for example, I had a prop here, like right on top of, you guys can see this, I'll just zoom in a bit. If I had a prop suddenly move on top of this spawner, or let's see what else, a really common one is to let's see, let's grab a volume, the barrier device. So the barrier device, this is such a common problem. You can see this, right? Yeah. Where you don't make it a hollow box. So the zone shape can be box, hollow box, or cylinder. Set up to be hollow box, or nobody can spawn inside of this barrier device. The spawner will not work. So those are the most common reasons. Or if you have terrain and you put your spawner inside of the terrain a little bit, that will also, we don't have any terrain here. Let's go to selection, landscape. Wow, that's huge. Is that the default? Massive. I was just created anyways, who cares? Filing shaders. Oh. Wow. It's glitchy. Okay, so let's head down here. And if I were to sort of build up this terrain a little bit here, and let's go back into selection mode. Let's grab the grid, because holy cow, I can't stand that flickering. And just shuffle it down just a little. There we go. And then these spawners here, we can just barely, let's get rid of the volume. the spawner. I don't even think I can select it. Select spawn pad 1 or 2, doesn't matter. So they have to for sure be above ground. If they're even slightly in the ground, I don't know, you guys can see this. So look, if there we go. There we go. If they are, let's move this guy over away from this. Let's get this somewhere away. Right. So this is probably the easiest way to tell. If your spawner's sitting sort of like this, there's a chance that you won't be able to spawn. So make sure it's above ground, and then of course make it not visible in game, and that'll get rid of the base. And then your player will just spawn on top of the landscape. See this guy here? There's a good chance he won't spawn, I believe. I think this one is 100%. So keep an eye out for that. Important. Pretzel TV is here. It says, would you like to make a video about a system that randomly selects a player from the opposing team and spawns a prop at their location? Yeah, that's not too hard to do. If it were me, what would I do? Use as island start as the player spawner device. Use as island start is when the island starts up initially. The very first time the island starts up, these are the spawners you want it to use. Otherwise, you have spawners that can be used for anything. Yeah. So, how would you make a system that randomly selects player from the opposing team? The opposing team. Okay, so there's a few steps on how to do this kind of thing. I'm going to lay them out in text format here. Just something in here as a comment. So, well, how would I do this? How would I think? Can you see this? Can you guys see this? Because that makes it a little bit bigger. Bam. So, opposing team means that there's probably two teams. So we'll make an assumption. Assumption number one is there are two teams. One player from a team hits a button, and some player on the other team has a prop spawned on them. Right? So, okay, that's fine. That's no problem at all. So the steps to do this, is as usual, we want all players in a custom players map. All there's a fly in here. All players have a team set up for them in their custom player object. Right? So I've covered this in tutorials on how to do this part. Every game should have this. If you make any game inside of UEFN, Fortnite, this is just a no-brainer. You have to start your games. Okay, so this is already done. So inside of the say we're going to call it CP for custom player. We're going to have a team number. Yeah, number equals 1 or 2, right? For example. So when a player picks which team they're on, you can catch that event from the team selector device. Set the number up inside of here. You have to trust me. This is so much easier than dealing with the team selector devices and stuff like that. Like just set it up inside of the custom player object. Then, right? So once you've done that, when the button is clicked, check that player's team number, and then if it were me, I would probably make a temporary array to hold all the other players two flies in here. It's catching my attention. I got the window open. It's a beautiful day today. To hold all the other players, all the other teams' players, which you get through a loop. Then use get random int 0 to array length -1, right? Because the length of an arrays start at 0, so we won't. Whenever we're going through an array, we always want to get the length -1. It's just the way it works because they start at 0. If they started at 1, we wouldn't do that. Just it's a rule, right? So we want to get a random int between 0 and the length of it, and then inside. Okay, so inside of that array is a bunch of custom players, CPs, right? And then what are we going to do? We are going to grab that CP in the array at that random spot. Then get the FC Fort character transform. Right. And move the prop to the FC. And you're done. That should be it. Simple. Relatively simple. Fine Envy says, hopefully that answers your question, Pencil. How would you make a gathered resource UI where on hit of a rock, for example, it would say 40 plus 40 brick, which floats up the screen and fades out? The easiest way to do this is with the HUD message device. So there's other ways to do this, but the easiest way that I highly recommend to start out with, because the other way is harder to really code some stuff out, is use a HUD message device, and you bring that onto the screen, and you set up your message plus. Actually, you don't have to set up your message inside of here. You'll set it up inside of Verse, because Verse has the ability to set the text of the message. And then make sure to click the, where is it? Reevaluate messages on show. Click that. And then the intro animation can be just a fade. And then the outro animation is a, okay, get out of here. I don't want to check in my project. The outro animation is, let's see, which one would we use? Slide from bottom? Yeah, probably slide from bottom. So that's the easiest way to do it. Easy peasy. All right, hopefully that helps. There are very little tutorials out there on how to make a horror map. Yeah, probably. I guess. I don't know. I don't think it matters. Like, you can look up anything on any horror map. It doesn't have to be UEFN. How would I add an icon? Blueprints, my bro. Okay, so that's easy. Let's go into our blue. Actually, let's make one called UI. We'll make a new folder called UI, right? And then inside of here, we're going to make a widget blueprint, and we'll use a user widget, right? And we'll call this plus resources underscore UI blueprint, right? And then you open up this, and it will give you a well, add a canvas panel, you know, like so. And then inside of here, you're going to set up an icon, so you can grab an image, just like so, and put it in the top corner, position 0, and then you're going to need some text. And so it's no different than making any plus. It doesn't matter what you write here. because you can override that later. So this image would be your icon. And then when you're done that, we'll compile, save, and then you can go, I'll close that, go back to the HUD message device. And then you can click this, go to your HUD widget inside of your HUD message device and just hit the little arrow. And then it will show this blueprint UI and you after you set up the view model for this sucker, the message view model, select, dismiss, close, and we'll add a text block thing, and we'll text, select, and then go to here, HUD message, text here, select. Bam, you've now made it so that you can set this text value with the same method for the HUD message device, which we can take a look at really quickly inside of our code. Let's go, not there, not there, not down here somewhere. Editable, plus resources, HUD, which is a HUD message device. Tooltips are working for me today. That's nice. There's so many planes and helicopters today. Weather's so nice. Everybody wants to get out and fly. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Let's do it inside this. Let's see. So we'll go show. Set text, which we have to convert from a message. So to a message. Sorry, from text. So we have to do a string to message function. String to message. I can't remember exactly how to write this. Just bear with me for 2 seconds while I quickly grab it from some other code that I've got. Here. I never write this, so this is what you're going to need to put text. It's a string to message because the HUD requires a message object. It's really weird. And then in here you could put plus 40, right? And then plus resource HUD, bam, show agent, and you're done. There you go. That's the whole bit of doing a HUD. That helps. Whew, went through that fast. Holy crap. Holy crap. It's a bug in here. Get in here. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Gamestead says, thanks for your streams. You're very welcome. Back online. Hello. And Deanna Jones. Funny. Can you provide a tutorial of best practices in verse? I made a 4-part series, so starting the best practices of verse. What could be causing memory issues or performance issues? Mostly loops, bad loops. What, I add an icon. Yeah, okay, did that. Franco also says, also recently I discovered that using verse to make add canvas and removing consistently can cause memory leak. An example, resource shows going up and fading then removing. Yeah, that's a bug inside of Fortnite. Nothing you can do about it yet. They're working on it. They're aware of it. And Deanna Jones says, is it possible to make multiple different texts inside of a button that show up for players, for example, based on a class or different text? No, you would just set what you would do. No, sort of. You can set the text of a button. Yeah. But no, I know what you're trying to say. You can't have a button on the screen that's different for every player. It just doesn't work that way. There's no way to do that. You would have to do it inside of their UI, but not on the screen itself. Like not on. The only things, there's only, I think, 2 things: the collectible device and the switch device. I think the timer device as well. Those can be player specific. They'll be different for every player at the same time. So yeah, not possible. Halloween Tycoon has been popping off the last few days. It has. Fly carries. Thank you. Yes, it has been doing very well. We're very happy with that. Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays are pretty slow days, so we're seeing a slow time at the moment. But we expect it to continue moving forward. We got lots of updates. I've been working on updates last night for it. More features, a few extra little polish bits and pieces and stuff like that. It's going to be very, very good. And there you go. All right. Let's see. Katana says, what is, in your opinion, the best way to start getting into Verse if you don't have any coding experience? The best way to get into Verse is to just make simple stuff. So, let's see. In this map, it's got really nothing that's going on, right? A lot of devices, like common devices, that are in maps, I would recommend playing with. Buttons, HUD devices, mutator zones. Like, start playing a bit with the devices, stuff that you don't have to write a whole bunch of code for. And to give you a tip on how to do that, so if I go up to the top of my code here, I've got editables are, I covered editables in the last video, but you know, editables are a way for your code to talk to the things on in your scene. So if you want to know how they work, just hold the control key down and just mouse over these guys. You'll see they'll get an underline on them, and just click it, and that'll open up the Fortnite digest. Most times, sometimes it opens up sometimes it opens up the Verse digest, and I think it's inside the Unreal one. Stuff. Anyways, the point is that when you control click on this guy, it'll take you to, let's open this up big. It'll take you to the code that you can use. So you've got a success event, you've got I've never had the failure event go off, but whatever. You can enable it per agent, or just enable it, disable it. So these are all functions that you can use for every device. I recommend checking out the devices that live inside of the system first, and learning to mess with those. From there, it really is. I mean, I did a 4-part series, as I said, on using Verse. I think it's a good start. I'm biased maybe, but I really like it because I thought about it, how I think it would be good to learn, how I think others could learn, and so I think it's a good start. And yeah, do the basics. Start basic. Don't go crazy. I mean, I write, you know, huge files. You know, we got some pretty advanced stuff going on in our games, but that took a long time to get to. I mean, I've been at this for a little over a year now, and I coded before. With zero coding experience, it's going to take a little bit. Be patient with yourself. Don't worry, you'll get it. Yeah, no coding experience is kind of hard, because you sort of have to try to pick up on coding practices. Why am I getting another? Right. Just take all my attention away. Ken Beans is hassling me on Discord right now. I might have to ban this guy. You know, kid. But he's saying nice stuff, so maybe not. When you're getting into doing coding, then you're going to learn practices, like ways to code that'll apply across coding languages. So to be honest, if it's your first language to kind of get into, it actually might be really good, because you won't be burdened with like, oh, should I do it this way or should I do it that way? There's so many ways to do stuff. I don't find myself overly burdened with stuff, but you know, there are some tips and tricks that kind of come with the territory. I've been coding for forever, like I guess 20 years or so. And so you learn patterns, I guess the best way to put it. I didn't know Verse. I'm brand new to Verse too. Okay. G6 says hello. Hello. Is Fortnite map creating your full-time job? Yes. Right now, Fortnite map creating is my full-time job, but I'm gonna go full pro Fortnite game. Just kidding. I play and have fun. That's not good. Yeah, it's gonna be my full-time job for quite some time if everything continues as is. I like it. It's good. I enjoy it. Teaching it as well. Actually, is part of my job, in my opinion. If possible, can you highlight the interesting parts of Tycoons that can boost players' playtime over an hour? Yes, yes, I can do that. Let's switch screens. All right, so Halloween Tycoon. Let's wander into this because this is a good example. Obviously, a good example. The fun fact about Halloween Tycoon is we didn't do any promo, which is amazing, to be honest. Usually, you have to do promo for games to get attention. You want to get an influx of players, and then keep building from there. Said it a million times. Keep building your maps. Keep timely updates. Hey, there's nobody in my my lobby. Unusual. Unusual. This will fill up fast. This goes fast. People come in real quick. Guess I can get rid of my Whoa. Turns out I don't have an internet connection. It says X at the top. Can you guys see this? No, there it goes. It's good. I'm ping 0 again. New quest. Okay, so what have we found that keeps people engaged in Tycoons? I mean, people is a varied word here. Like the players that are coming to Fortnite are generally young kids. And look, we've got 2 people already. There's somebody here already. Went fast. We got Crafters 986. Let's go, bro. You got 2 layers already. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. I think I'm almost ready to rebirth, if I remember correctly. Let's turn on my shield for added comfort. Okay, so one of the things is the ability to just Tycoon. I've seen this complaint many times. One of the complaints when my kid was playing, it really bothered her that somebody would come and bug her while she's Tycooning. And I've seen it all over the place that people just want to Tycoon when they Tycoon. So you got to make your Tycoon Tycoonable, buildable, workable, without worry or concern for those people that just want to chill out and not have to go private. Because obviously they could go private. Not everybody knows you can go private. But in a public map, obviously there's going to be more. I think it's also important to have other players in a map so you can kind of compare how you're doing. Why is my mouse? Mouse is way too fast. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Sometimes the mouse software does not recognize when I've changed to another software. So, yeah, having more players in, I think, is vital. I think it makes it more fun. You can play if you want to. You can goof off and do co-op stuff or whatever as well. So protection, making it safe to play. And in Tycoons, there kind of just needs to be a lot to do. You know, in this one, we have the ability to go touch pumpkins like so. You can get money. And there's enough pumpkins in this house that, you know, because there's a timeout on them, you can't just keep on touching the same pumpkin. It doesn't work. You got to keep going around and looking around. There's things to look at. You make things visually pleasing. Easy to use, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just normal game stuff. But, I mean, there's pumpkins all over this house. There's pumpkins in the 2nd floor, pumpkins in the 3rd floor. And by the time you're done getting all the 3rd floor ones, you can go all the way back downstairs and go get the 1st floor ones. So the game loop there is pretty interesting. You need money so you can shoot the big pumpkins. You can change the music, right? And that's kind of cool. So just little features, and then of course a lot of good ones have things like pets or something that you can, you know, just makes for a different visual. And then I think a lot of Tycoons have quests. So right now I'm on my zombie quest. I need to kill 20 zombies. That gives me a thing to do. You know, if I wanted to. I don't really want to, so I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I think those are the key things. They're not too difficult. We've made a few tycoons that are probably a little bit difficult. I think he's still gonna come over here, you think? Yeah. Hello, boys. And you're dead. And I'm slightly dead. Okay. So, you know, that's important. It's a full lobby. Nope. We need one more. So I don't know. Hopefully that makes some sense. Hopefully that makes sense on what you can do to make a tycoon fun and a decent loop. Like we've got a loop where you kind of go through and get all your stuff, and then you can rebirth. And when you rebirth, you get a mystery box. When you get a mystery box, you get a pet. And in this case, you know, you get I've got 5 out of 15. I've got 4 mystery boxes saved up. I could get 4 more pets. When you get all the pets, you know, blah, blah, blah. So that kind of game loop, I mean, kids aren't going to play the same game forever, but you can make it fun for a little while. You can make it fun for a while. So hopefully that's some interesting parts of Tycoon that boosts players' playtime. And, you know, we've got the idea of doing quests, the idea of doing things to get things is always going to be interesting. It's like having a job, you know, just something to do. Juan Gamers says, how do I change a variable from multiple scripts? Like having all in just one script. You would make a class, and then you would access that from a central location, like a game manager. And that game manager would have access to the things that it needs. And then in your other classes, you would have access to the game manager, which has access to that original class that has the numbers. If they're just constants, then you can instantiate the class across every one of your devices, kind of thing. And then when you change it in that one class, it'll be done. But if they're variables, then you've got to do it in one. GameStead says, is there a tutorial on creating a leaderboard of player times? When I checked in the past for making a leaderboard with player names not allowed, have to manually make it social media. No, there is not. What you have to do is get people to submit and then put it in. There's no way for you to save data. Like, for example, the player reference devices here, this disappears when I leave because I'm not in the game anymore. So you can't save player data in a game. Like, you'll never be able to save a player's name or a player's time. Or, I mean, you could save time, but you'd never be able to save their name. You could give them a name, but you can't get their name ever. Like, it's just not a thing that, because kids play this. That's a big, huge no-no. You have to get them to submit, and then you make a PNG, and you put it in your game, and you upload your game again, you update it, and that's that. There you go. Pretzel gives 11 euros. Thank you very much. That's awesome. It's fantastic. Thanks. I'm not asking. Nobody needs to hand any cash over. That's nice though. It buys me coffees. So he says, thank you for your help and all the other helpful videos. Keep up the good work. I will. Can you talk more about your income with Fortnite? I don't know what I would say. I can't give you the number. What I can say, I suppose, is that I have an income from Fortnite. We make games that have players, and having players means you get money. Depending on how many players and how much playtime, and if they buy stuff in the store or the shop, then you get more money, from my understanding. But to be dead honest, it is a really opaque, like non-transparent process. I have no idea how it works. Not at all. And marketing. I don't manage the marketing whatsoever. My marketing is pretty much what I'm doing for making videos, posting on X. Like, it's really minimal. The marketing that does get done, Jiven handles that. And that's generally Instagram and TikTok and some YouTube. That, people, yeah, we pay them to make some kind of video or, yeah, some kind of marketing. Play this game, it's really cool, kind of thing. So, Fine Envy says, what do you think about Lumberjack Heroes? Fantastic game. Fantastic. It's insane. If you actually wanted to look even more Actually, let's just take a quick glance. Oh, recommend. Lumberjack Heroes is got a lot of qualities about it that have kept it at the top of the chart. I didn't realize you work with Jiven. Yeah, no, Jiven works with me. You know, Ken Beans can vouch for that. Lumberjack Heroes, 900 players. Go into this. Lumberjack Heroes. This is a really good one. What's the game manager? Game manager is a thing that you make, right? Like here, look here. Look, see? Inside of my UEFN, if it shows up, there we go. I have made a file called Game Manager, and this is where I put all my code. This is my initial file that gets loaded in. It's a device on the screen, which Fortnite stole my mouse. Just a second. Right here, right? This is my verse device. My verse device is my game manager. Inside of my game manager, I have all my stuff. That's inside of my code here. So that's a game manager. Okay, back to, so, yeah. This, I've got a pet. You see my little pet? Look at him. He's got an idle animation. He cruises along with me when I get far enough away. He's got a star on his head. I didn't know. I don't remember that. It's a material. It's pretty cool. We've got markers to tell me where to go. So I can go up here. I think I have to go up to the weaponsmith and do a thing. Like, look at this. This is another task to do. This guy says hello, and you know, you can do some stuff. I mean, it's an advanced game. These guys, Ken was asking yesterday, you have a form, or no, Ken was asking. Who's asking? Somebody was asking. What's that noise? If I have a formula, or if there's a formula for figuring out tycoons, here's another guy you can talk to, right? Hello, he says, and you can do some stuff in here. And all of it is for the ability to, let's see, to farm more, right? Or, how do I get to my, I can't remember now. Hello, bucko. What's this guy want? Oh, here we go. So the other menu where you get your achievement and your inventory and your pets and all that stuff. I mean, there's so much going on that because there's so much going on, yet it is a very basic game. Like obviously I can come up and farm trees really, really well. And the rate at which you farm trees is, it gets pretty crazy. Like I can farm this tree pretty fast, even though it's 5 billion wood. And your pet helps you, and that's kind of fun and attractive and all that kind of stuff. So this game is insane. Plus you can do boss fights, which is really cool. So you keep really, really busy playing. And visually it's pretty cool. You know, they put a post-process over everything that gives that sketched look. I don't have this yet. How much have I got? I've got 9 billion. 1 trillion. 1 trillion. What's it going to do if I do this? Nothing. Unlock. Don't work. Yeah, I mean, it's bonkers. This game has got a lot going on. Yeah, they must have done some math on this somehow. So yeah, Lumberjack Heroes is really cool. Really cool. So I think it's a good game. And they'll carry on for quite a while. They took, from my understanding, they took a long time to make this, and they're still working on it. Still working on it. Fine Envy says, thank you for your help. You're welcome. Isn't that not allowed anymore because of private infos of players? Oh, I think you're talking about the usernames. Yeah, you can't get that. What's the game manager? I answered that. I didn't realize you work with Jiven. Yes. Easy says, hey, love your UEFN videos. Very helpful. Excellent. Excellent. The reason I asked is I'm currently making a mining version of the game. I wonder if you think this type of game will last in the Fortnite climate. I do. There is a Mining Heroes one, isn't there? Somebody did copy this and made a mining one. And then the other RPG style game, Fort something or other. What was it? Fortnite. For me, it's too brain dead. Um, I think all Tycoons are kind of one of those games you sort of play, you just sort of cruise through it. There is some thinking involved in that one, so it is what it is. Fortnite Legends, this one's been doing really well. I did a video before it popped off, and this game is yeah, kind of like that where there's more going on. You've got a whole menu involved where you can forge your weapons and your armor better. It's RPG. So I would say based on the track record of games like these two games, and there are others, I don't go looking around that often, so I don't really exactly. But I'd say the track record says yes, there is a market. There's a good market. These guys have made a lot of money. I think the Lumberjack Hero guys have pulled in $1 million or something. See, I got a pet. Look at my little level 5 mushroom. Come on, buddy. Let's go. I don't know where I'm going. What have I done? I haven't played in a while. Kill the guy to unlock. Yeah, I haven't. Oh, I remember because they bound the F key, so I can't actually turn right. I have to mouse my way around everywhere. Whereas I can strafe left, see? But I can't strafe right because they bound the F key. Definitely a mistake. We'll do everything else though. Look at that. It makes my thing go off. It's a Niagara effect. Hello, cacti. See you later. Crabs. I actually haven't gone past this area. When I did my video, I talked to the witch, got that sorted out. Goodbye, crabs. Running along. And then I don't know what this dude is. I've never been here before. Turtles. Run away. Jesus. That guy's got a turtle for a pet. That's cool. Anyway, so this game too, an RPG is oh, they killed that dude, no problem. Wow. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't have any player. I think I had one player in when last time I played. So I mean there's so much going on. There's so much UI going on. You got stuff in the bottom left where, it shows your level of pet. It shows your strength and armor and all that stuff. Your health, your shield. And down at the bottom is your level plus what you're going to get to the how much more you need to get to the next level. Plus 60-30. I'm not really sure what those are for. I can't remember. You've got a whole menu of stuff in your backpack. And look at this. It's crazy. Crazy. So, lots going on. It's a cool game. Very well done. I imagine it took a long time to make. So, if you've got the patience and the skill to build games like that, yeah, 100%. Go for it. Yours is way better. Excellent. Then you'll make lots of money. As a question, currently I'm using the get camera position in materials. So when the camera gets close to the material dissolves, yeah. Is there a node to use the skeleton position to activate the dissolve instead of the camera position? Not that I'm aware of. I don't do a lot of that stuff, like messing around with materials based on character position, but I'm pretty sure it's just the camera. I mean, if I were to guess, I'd probably guess that you're trying to use third-person camera, like the orbit camera or something like that, maybe. So you can't use the camera position. Those pets are cool. How would you make something like that? Easy peasy. Pets are you if you want to make them from scratch, you just go into Blender or something like that, make a pet, and then animate it, and that would be your idle animation or your attack animations and stuff like that. You export those as FBX files, bring them into UEFN, and then attach them to the player with Verse, and then you can use the control rig to smooth it out. Use the animations, which automatically come with the skeletons. So it's a little bit to talk about, but they're not that hard. They're not very hard to do the basics. Juan Gamer says, what I need to learn is basically how to make a currency that saves and that can be modified with multiple scripts so that it doesn't lag. All the tutorials I watched so far didn't work. But a currency that saves per player? Because if it's per player, then you're going to want to save that in the custom player object. And then you'll use persistence. Study up on first persistence to save it. What's a long time for you? What does that mean? Long time for me for what? Franco says, I believe VFX with NPC spawners and random animations to make that bet. I don't think it's an no, I don't think it's an NPC spawner. Might be. Yeah. Random animations, yep. And a VFX. Could be a material that's attached to it. Fine, NPCs, how often do you do these streams? Well, I've done them 2 times in a row now. Once yesterday and once today. Yesterday I had a little bit more time. Today I have about an hour. So I thought I would just pop on and try to help out, answer some questions that people have. Yeah, per player. So yeah, if you're saving currency per player, you're going to save it inside of the custom player object itself. For in-game, if you want to save it across sessions, so when somebody leaves and they come back, like we have, going to here. Fun fact, Halloween Tycoon is doing better than Lumberjack Heroes. Oh, suck on that, guys. Not you guys, the other guys. When I go into the game, you'll see that I have all my pets. I have all of my mystery boxes still, my money, and that's all done with persistence. First persistence is very powerful. We used to have to do it with really ridiculous stuff. Like we'd have to save consumables, resources and consumables. So you'd give gold or diamonds or crystals and stuff like that. It was really dumb. And you use a save device. I'm in an empty lobby again. The last lobby, all the lobbies are full up. It's okay to fill up fast. Let's go. We're in. Okay, so see how, I load in. And then all of my stuff is loading. My whole Tycoon loads in. My money's there. My rebirths are in there. My mystery boxes are there. My pets are all here. Come here, dragon. It's my favorite. I love my little dragon guy. So cool. And so that's all done with persistence. You know, we don't save the quests. But we do have a new one coming up, hopefully pretty soon. Yeah, so per player you do it that way, and then when you load up, you load their data in. Yeah, it's in third person, so if I move my camera close to material dissolves, but yeah, when the player runs into the wall, it won't do anything else when the camera goes. I don't know if there's a way to grab the skeleton to do that. It's something I'd have to research if I were to choose to do such a thing. How long, what is a long time for you to create a map? I'd say a long build would be a month. Yeah. Like if we were going hamburger and needed to build something kind of advanced or pretty, I mean, we spent that long on like initial build. Because in yesterday's stream, there was talk about burnout. And I was like, well, look, you know, do things in pieces. So we made, you know, something smaller, something a little bit bigger, something a little bit bigger, because the little bit bigger stuff can borrow from the, somebody over here. Turn on my shield. Look, my lobby's already filling up. There's another person here. I swear I heard him over here though. Nobody comes onto my lawn. Oh. No. Over at his house. What was I saying? Yeah, so I would say to build from scratch, if we spend a month on something, and it's 2 of us, so it's not just me, sometimes 3, a month would be a long time. I'd say a couple of weeks is pretty average. Mainly because we have so much we can draw from other games, so it's not a complete build from scratch, and we're not confused of how to build half of it. The other half of it might be a little bit difficult. We've got to study some stuff because you're constantly growing and you want to do that. Yeah. I think a long time would be a month. I don't think I could work on a 6-month project. I would. I think that's where I would probably get burnout. I don't know how those guys did. They did an amazing job, and they deserve every penny they get. And accolades, all the people that are saying it's an amazing game. Good for them. Really, really good for them. You're gonna play that cool road game you made a video on. That game looked crazy. The Fode game, I would, but they haven't really updated it. It's a good one. You should do them more. You have solved a massive problem for me instantly. I have. Excellent. It's good. I wonder what your massive problem was. Do you use the analytics devices? So for what? We haven't yet. I haven't really had a need for it, but we're thinking about it. Epic's Glamour. It's asking me to play a game. I'm gonna check it out on Fortnite GG first. There's nobody in it, so no. Sorry. Let's see. I'm a level designer, and my maps take normally 1 month to design only. Yeah, I mean, I've worked on maps that take a month just to design them, for sure. I got a buddy that does really advanced design, and he goes hamburger. And he took a month to develop. Let's see. I don't think there's anybody. It's my map, so I'm going to go into it. I'll show you. But I'm overdoing it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's abnormal. But we did Nuketown mini games. And I'll go into this real quick. I think it's going to let me in. I can't remember. The gather resource solution has took me countless hours to not even solve, and you gave such a simple solution so fast. Oh, good. Fantastic. See, you never know. You could ask a question, you might get an answer that really works for you, and I can't answer everything, but I can try. W. Garcia says hi. Hello. So this map, a buddy, a very good friend of mine, designed. He had this as a passion project, in a way, and I was like, let's do this. So we made Nuketown in Fortnite. Not the only Nuketown. There's lots of Nuketowns out there. It's preparing. I don't know if it's gonna go in. Hopefully it does. Trying all the tricks in verse, but the set visibility of a widget function just did not work. I see what you're doing. Yeah, I know what you were trying to do. I don't think it's definitely not as easy as just using a HUD message device. What's going on? Play. Sometimes Fortnite's so weirdly buggy, eh? Anyways, whatever. The point is that this game is highly detailed. Highly detailed. It took a month of it to design. So, yeah. So you never know. I mean, I think every map is different, and every person that works on them is different. But it doesn't it that. So when I do refer to like a couple of weeks or something like that, it really is initial build. But from there, we work on it a lot. Can I sub? Sure. Go ahead. Sub. Is your level designer working full time? That guy? Not right now. He's got some stuff to. This is not working. Let's go back to here for a second. Right. Oh, it's still got me in there. See, look, something's bugged. There we go. Back to that. Try again. One last time. If this thing gets stuck on preparing again, I swear. There's nothing I can do. I swear there's nothing I can do. I'm surprised Activision hasn't made you take down this map. Bro. What? Look. Nuketown. Make me take down my map? Yeah, right. There's so many in here. Activision doesn't care. They don't care. For me, the Halloween Tycoon is just a copied code and created a new level design. I don't know what that means. This is not working. It's not working. I don't know why. Either way, it's super detailed. Meta Fortnite says, I'm French and I want to create a training map for aim, edit, etc. Man, there are so many out there. I have a few that I really like myself. I do this one, the Training Hub by Reese Hub. He's done a pretty good job. The Ultimate Warm-Up, that one I found pretty good. Obviously, Raiders, Mechanics Training, and Jiven's Piece Control, Build Peaks and Aim, and How to Build Practice Map. He's got a few going in there, and they've all been really good for me. Lots and lots of options, tons of options out there. Fortnite's just having an issue. Numbers seem to be low lately. Weird. The Halloween looks a lot like very many Tycoons. Yeah, I mean, it's a genre. I mean, you could say that about build fights. All the build fights look the same. Box fights all look the same. Zone wars all look the same. So on and so forth. It's just a genre. Like Fortnite Legend and Lumberjack Heroes, you know, they're quite unique. Yeah, really cool, unique, interesting. Tycoons beat Tycoons. Zone Wars beat Zone Wars, including Zone Wars Tycoon. Mix the two of them, which is a heck of a lot of fun. So much fun. I actually really like this game. Played a reasonable amount. But it works, so good job. Thanks, yeah. There are thousands of COD remakes, but Activision is, or at least was before Microsoft, a huge baby about that. Well, I mean, for COD, sure, but for a Fortnite version, I mean, it's not even close. Right? We don't have nearly the same mechanics. I mean, you can kind of make it. I mean, we made a pretty realistic version of it. Like, looking is quite accurate because my buddy's quite particular, which is fantastic. But yeah, other than that, it's Fortnite because it's not first person camera view, right? We don't have the first person camera property yet, so it don't work. So it doesn't. It might be a hard sell to take it to. Oh man, nobody's here. Not surprised. I think there's 5 people in the whole game. Yeah, but another Tycoon, same idea. Smash, whatever. Except for here, where we can do aim practice. Very basic aim practice. The mouse is all weird. So, yeah. And then, yeah, white people. Whenever they show up. Oh, it's dead right now. Kids are in school. How much time a dev would need to create a new Tycoon with the same layout? Would you have the code or not? I mean, it depends on the style of Tycoon you're trying to make. I mean, depends on if you... Yeah. I don't know. Depends on the person. Depends on the type of Tycoon. Depends on how many things you want to bring in. What famous games from Roblox would you recommend someone brings to Fortnite? That's a good question. Some people have tried to do it. Doesn't always work out well. Again, Roblox has got different mechanics and a different sort of style to it. I'm not into Roblox. My kid plays Roblox, and so she sometimes tells me I should make a thing, but it's hard. Yeah, I don't have any recommendations. They were crying at the beginning of UEFN because a lot of the players are saying the Fortnite version was better than the actual COD game. I don't know. Maybe they worry because they lose some of their players. For example, you start now for a Winter Tycoon. I don't know. I mean, if I were to start another Tycoon that's kind of similar and stuff like that, then it really is a lot of environment design and game loop. You know. But if I were to copy paste everything out and then just change out the buildings to a massive igloo or something, I don't know. Probably not very long. I don't know though. Phantom Forces. I don't think I've ever heard of that game. Don't think I've heard of it. Simulator maps are big. Obbies were huge for a while. I'm not sure. I think a mixture between obbies and sort of RPGs are really popular. So, yeah, I don't think anybody's coming in because everybody's in school. This game didn't get, I mean, it did pretty good for a little bit, but it didn't stay popular, unfortunately. Even though it's so damn cool. We're going to rebirth. Bam! I've been waiting to do that for forever. Forever. That's it, I've rebirthed. Put my shield back on. I got no money. So now I actually have to play my Tycoon. I still have all my rebirth items though. So I'm happy about that. I guess I can get everything again. When you're the developer, you get free rebirths, by the way. In the beginning. I like this gun quite a bit. Let's grab that. And back over here. But I don't get free money. So yeah, it's a typical Tycoon. Are you open for partnerships or share deals on projects, or you just do your own stuff? I am, but it can't compete with anything that I'm already part of or working on. But it's kind of, I mean, I think I have a pretty good idea of how the industry works now. So I'm kind of particular on what I might take on. It's a good question though. But I think mostly, yeah, I mean, somebody really has to sell the idea. I think anybody should have to be proper sold on an idea. You can't just, go up to somebody and say, hey, want to do a thing with me? It's like, who are you? Have you had any success in the past? And, how'd you get there? I'd be getting more money if I was fighting right now because I'd be winning. I gotta smash this cube. What do I want to get next? Well, yeah. And so this one also, verse persistence, saves everything. Nobody's here. I'm all alone. Hey, is the down but not out device working right now? I try to use it, but it doesn't respawn the player after he's knocked. Any idea why? No, the down but not out device does work. But there are some buggy things about it. I don't know if it's dead right now. I think it. Yeah, now that you kind of say that. I wonder. I don't know. Actually, I haven't tested that recently. So, but there are some. I did post a bug on UEFN on Epic's forum about the down but not out device. It has some problems with it. They are aware of the problems of the down but not out device has. It's kind of hard to say quick enough, you know, but not out device. And so they're working on it, and hopefully, yeah, hopefully they'll have it fixed. Next update, or a hot fix update, maybe. Yeah. Ooh, there's my repeater. Bam. Can't buy those yet. Need more money. Still nobody here yet to play with me. That's okay. Okay, more questions. I think I'm gonna have to call it at this pretty soon. How much income of a map you reinvest into marketing costs? I think there's a percentage. Because you can't foresee the income of a map before marketing. So you got to do marketing, and then hopefully you get money. So there's kind of a budget that I think everybody has for sales of a product that you just have. Do you know if it's possible in any way to tie death events with a triggering player? If player 1 triggers an event and others die, can player 1 get kills counted, like with explosives or damage barriers? You can't give elims in game, like Fortnite game. You can't do that. But you would save it inside of your custom player and then manage it from there. I think that's what I would do. I don't think I would. Yeah, because you can't. The player literally has to attack and do damage to that player to get the knock and or kill. You can't. Yeah, you can't apply an elim to a player. That's an internal thing, but you can save your own custom variable, and that's probably what I would do. Hopefully that helps. I'm trying everything I can't tie death events with triggering player. No, the player actually has to do the killing, so you're not going to get that. That's just that. It doesn't work within Fortnite. So Scott's here. Hello, Scott. In a simple scavenger hunt game, how do I create the list of items the player needs to find? And how are the items crossed off once they find them? Is there already a device I could alter? No, there isn't a device. You'd have to make your own. Scavenger hunt game. That's an interesting one. I've never built one, but if I was going to build one, I would use a map. And in that map, I would have you could even have an array, maybe. Yeah. Every custom player would have an array of scavenger items. So it's a scavenger item would be a class in and of itself. And then you could subclass that or just leave it as its own class. And then the array would be filled up with those. And when a player scavenges them or finds them, which is pressing a button or hitting a trigger, I don't know how you do that part, but each one of those items, each one of those scavenged items as a class would be a verse device, and you would have editables for your button or your trigger, something like that. When that gets hit, you would then call that item scavenged, found, or whatever, and that would apply to the player. So in your array of custom scavengeable items, every time somebody picks something up, you would loop through that array, and you would check each of the items in there to see if they've been scavenged, and if there's any false values in there, then you know that it hasn't got everything. If they're all true, then bam, you got what you need. Hopefully that makes sense. That's my thought process on how I might do something like that. Second floor. I'm really cruising through this. 10K and 50K. Still nobody here to fight me. Hopefully that helps. Is it possible to make layers of landscape visible or invisible with code or devices? No, you can't affect landscape at all, unfortunately. There's no way to affect it yet. Hopefully they will one day. You know, one day. What do I need? 5K? 5K. Let's get the second floor and then I think I might call it at that. Unless there's any more questions. Second floor. Damn, we're living the high life now. Nobody's here. Oh, the clap was late. That was weird. Oh, that time it was on time. Weird. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah. Hopefully that's useful to everybody. Information provided today. Yes, Scott, you are new to this, aren't you? HSK123 King says, do you think it's better to create a map with a lot of effort at the beginning or see if people like it and then do updates afterwards? Wow. That's a good question. I think that if you make a game that is too basic and boring, you're not going to have anybody in your game and you'll think it's a total failure because it is. And I'd say come up with a good game with a good game loop. And then, you know, do the best as you can. Release the best thing that you can from the beginning. That's got the basics of the game loop sorted out. Yeah. But, I mean, there's such a thing as scope creep, if you've ever heard of that. Like, the amount of things that you have to do for a game or for a project is called the scope. And then we have it all the time. Like, we'll be doing some stuff. Like, for example, in this game, we did all of our Tycoon stuff. I'm like, you know, we need a shield, and then we have this really cool shield thing, and then the switch should be a whatever, and then, you know, let's put these numbers in so we know where we are at. For debugging, like having this really helped out to figure out which Tycoon is bugged or not bugged. But also we just left them in because they're in all of our games. I think they're really cool, and you know, the things that you kind of add on, like this sign as well was a bit of scope creep. We did it later though. We made a decision to do it later because it wasn't that important. So figuring out your scope, your initial scope, and then figuring out of that scope, what can you do later? And then you're going to figure out stuff later anyways. So yeah, do the best game you can from the beginning. Scott says I'll have to look up the things you mentioned, but I watched some videos where people address some of that. Yeah, I mean, in my tutorials, I talk about making custom players and custom maps. Making a custom verse device, it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not too bad. Like if we go here, let's see. So if I wanted to make a, yeah, so we'll go to the Verse Explorer. We'll right click here, add a new verse file to project. And then we'll go, opposites. Scavenger item. Yeah, that'll do. It's going to be a creative device. So let's open that up. Big fly that just flew in. It's huge. All right, so it comes in with this basic code. We can go ahead and build that. It doesn't do anything like this device does nothing. But the point is that I could then go to here and grab my scavenger item. This is the device, and then inside of this scavenger, this fly is so distracting. It's crazy. In here, you could use your trigger, like an editable, right? Find trigger. I don't know what I'd call it. Trigger device equals blah blah blah. And then so when this is triggered, then you set off that I don't know, let's pick a var is found logic equals, oh, somebody came into my game. I don't know if I got the thing in time. You're dead. Cracked. Ah, messed up my edit. It's boogie bombing them. Dead. Boogie bombing is my favorite. So yeah, just when I got into a little bit of a tutorial, I don't want to leave this guy alone, but I need to describe the tutorial. Yeah, so I'll just let him kill me a couple times. So in here is found thing. So when the trigger gets triggered, then we'll trigger is found as true, and then inside of the game manager we could have var scavenger items. Make an array of what did I call these things? Scavenger item equals array, right? And then you'd actually this would probably live in the custom player, so let's take that out of there. So in our custom player class here, we have our scavenger, and then inside of here, should we do this here? Not sure. The point is though that you would have actually, because you need to be able to set them up as their own devices. So maybe, oh, that guy just killed me. Dead. Maybe I would, no, maybe I would have it in here anyways, because we need it in there. But we would set up when somebody spawns in. So we'd have all of our scavenger items in the game manager, maybe. Let's do that. So we'll go editable, scavenger, what do we scavenge? Item, can, no, bottle. Let's scavenge a bottle. So this is a scavenger item equals, so we instantiate the class. You guys can see this, right? Right, and then so this is an editable, so we'll build this, save this, right, and then we select our game manager, and it says scavenger item bottle here, and we could just select this device here, and this would be the bottle. Like you would put a bottle in here and then a trigger, and if somebody walks over the trigger, they collect the bottle disappears, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's what I think. Sorry, I'm fighting. Just a minute. It's coming down. We're gonna have a fight. Dead! I won. I am. Genius. So, yeah. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's where I would start. You can rewatch this, obviously. Once I stop this stream, you'll be able to watch it as a VOD. Anywho. What else we got? How important do you think it is to have building? Uh-oh. Internet's dead. Did my stream die? What's happening here? It says excellent connection. Not sure what's going on. Is the stream still working? Somebody answer. Maybe not. All right, well, we'll end stream.